Oh, hey, everybody. It's Thrifty Business with Jay and A. It's Thursday night. We are here. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay.
And I'm Philly Nay. Hi, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Oh, my God. It's a glorious Thursday night. We got a great guest in the house. Let me get right to her here. I forgot to look something up. Our wonderful, especially awesome guest is my friend, Federica Rabiolo. Good Lord, I can't get your name right. Why can't it be Smith? Damn it. I'm sorry, Fed.
Oh, my goodness.
I butchered your name.
That's all right. That's all right. It happens.
Jeez. I'm so sorry. So Federica worked for eBay, has worked for eBay for quite a while now, right?
Mm-hmm. But almost 6 years.
All right, cool. So Fed and I have done a few things together, and she is on to a new role in the company, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes here. There we go. I had to bring up a little information because we're going to get right to Tiki Talk and show you how I matched up my mug with Federica.
Very cool.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk, where each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I try and match up to our guests. Now, tonight I'm not drinking just straight up rum. We had a party on July 4th. We made a big couple batches of Pugalicious, the home cocktail for my home bar, and I had a little bit left over, so I'm drinking Pugalicious. For those who have had it, know it's yummy. Now, this is awesome because I can match this up to Fed and give you guys a lesson. No one would ever look at this mug and think tiki mug, but this was from the Luau Hut, which was in Silver Springs, Maryland, which isn't too far from Washington, D.C. So that is how the Washington, D.C. mugs are very rare and worth a lot of money. I've never found any, but Silver Springs, Maryland is pretty close. So that, friends, is a tiki mug, which you would not normally think of as a tiki mug. What you drinking tonight, Nay?
Cool. I have iced coffee tonight. I'm very tired, actually, so I need the caffeine.
And Fed, are you drinking anything tonight?
Nope. I'm just on water.
All right, cool. So we're going to say goodbye to Fed for a little bit. She's going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and we'll get right on into it. Time for Nay's breast cancer update and fact of the week.
Yes, so I am doing pretty well. I'm finally feeling like a human being again after my surgery, which it's been about 3 weeks now. So 3 or 4 weeks. Goodness, it's going by fast. And I'm doing much better. I'm getting around better. I'm doing better. My state of mind is getting better. Everything's going well. I do have to still make some decisions about moving ahead with some possible cancer treatment, but I am right now I'm just kind of in a lull and I'm doing well. So that's good news. And I just wanted to bring this up. Now I don't talk a lot about celebrities, as we all know. I'm not up on my pop culture, but I do love Angelina Jolie because she was tested. Now she had genetic testing and she tested positive for BRCA2, which meant that basically she was going to get breast cancer. And genetically she was very, very predisposed to it. So she had a preventative double mastectomy. So she's gone through the same surgery as me. She had reconstruction like me. She's been through, she hasn't been through the cancer aspect of it, but she's been through everything else. And I think that it's amazing because she's very outspoken about genetic testing, and it's very, very necessary, and it's very expensive. It's very cost prohibitive. I had a genetic panel done, and it was extremely expensive, even with insurance. So, and her statement is breast cancer alone kills some 458,000 people each year, according to the World Health Organization, mainly in low and middle income countries. It has got to be a priority to ensure that more women can access gene testing and life-saving preventative treatment, whatever their means and background, wherever they live. And that is so true. And I know that she's doing a lot of charity work towards that. So. And
Nay was having a little bit of computer issues, so she's not having the chat up tonight because it was sucking too much power. Yeah. So I will tell you the chat is sending you lots of loves and hugs.
Thank you. Yes, I'm missing the chat tonight.
All right, so now we've done that. Let's get right to it, shall we? Time for our scores of the week. All right, you're off and running.
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple old ones. I just finally today got my store from 178 listings to 1038. So I am officially back in business. I actually did a couple listings today for the first time in a while. I've been working on some other things, just trying to get my life back, since the surgery and everything. But this was an old sale. This is the Fossil Relic by Fossil, and I sold it for $18. Not a huge sale, not a great, but still nonetheless, a decent sale. And that was easy to ship too. And then this fabric, strawberries, always look for, I always talk about characters, themes, and strawberry shortcake is a big one. This is just a yard of fabric that I sold for $14.99 with free shipping, but just 1 yard of fabric that I paid $1 for. So that's that was a good sale.
All right, so this could go this week. Our rotating segment is Thrift Outside Your Comfort Zone. This could go in it, but I'm feeling that I've been selling purses for long enough that I can't really claim that anymore. But this was a cute little carpet purse. It was in great shape. Nothing too exciting. I got $29 for it. I paid $3, and look how awesome it looks on a black background.
It does.
These were 6XL Raiders swim trunks. Raiders coming to Vegas. But they sold for $23. I paid $2.99 for those.
Nice.
This is pretty cool because where have I told you to look for books, Nadine?
At music stores, record stores.
You got it. I picked this up at a record store here in Vegas. This RoboCop book for $7.99. Sold for $45. Got feedback today. The dude loves the book, and he loves
Awesome. Very cool.
You might remember this from one of our hauls, and I think Nadine didn't know who Barbara Streisand was or something like that.
No, I didn't realize that she
was that's right.
also
You
an
didn't know
actress.
she was an actress, even though she's won an Oscar. That's right. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought never mind. I know that now.
But this was a promotional ashtray from the movie, and I sold it. I way low price. I think it was $1.99. Sold for $65 within a day of listing it.
Wow, that's great.
And then for another haul, if you remember, you look inside CDs when you're at thrift stores. Sometimes people stick their ticket stubs inside the CDs. This was a John Mayer ticket stub, and I would have never bought the CD because the CD ain't worth nothing. It's a penny CD. But when I was leafing through the CDs, I saw the signed ticket stub. So this was autographed by him, and I spent $1 on the CD, and I sold the autographed stub for $24.99.
Nice.
All right, you've seen our scores. Now it's time for our Duds of the Week, brought to you by WorthPoint. WorthPoint is the largest resource for identifying, researching, and valuing antiques, art, and vintage collectibles. Had Nay and I used WorthPoint, we probably wouldn't have messed up on these duds.
Very true.
You're up first.
Oh, okay. I have a little bit of a lag. I'm sorry. So this is definitely a dud. This Pan Asia. It's a book it's like one of those CDs with a recipe book, and I found it new at Goodwill probably about 2 years ago, and I think I paid probably like $3 or $4 for it. So I didn't pay much for it, but I can't sell it for anything. Nobody wants it.
So if you want it, Nate's cutting deals today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go lower than that price. So. And then this one is another one. This is a brand that usually sells very well for me. Plenty by Tracy Reese is usually a pretty well-selling, steady brand. But for some reason, this skirt just doesn't want to sell. It's a size small, but it's not an extra small. It should. I'm hoping before the end of the summer it will sell, but it's been up for quite a while. And again, nobody seems to want it. So we'll see.
Nobody likes it. All right, so my mom does quite well with scrubs. Nate and I have sold scrubs. This one, although cute, it wasn't a specific recognizable character. It was just a bunch of foxes, and it finally sold for $9.99. So I'm going to definitely stick to recognizable characters that people can actually look up. And my other one was in my hand. I teased it the other day, so if you're watching wherever I teased it, usually anything with space shuttles does quite well. Because they retired the space shuttle program, and I spent $4 on this hat, and I get home, and there's another version of this hat. There's another version of this hat with like fleur-de-lis on it, or whatever we call the little like things on like a shoulder for a colonel. It barely sells for $9.99, and this hat's less exciting than the other one. So I'm not even going to bother wasting my time. Someone wants this hat, you want to pay me what I paid plus the shipping, it can be yours because it ain't exciting. But if you're a big Endeavor fan, I'm more than happy to sell it to you. All right. Now it is time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty Kind. Renee and I recount stories of fun, crazy, scary, weird interactions with other thrift store customers or objects. There you go, Nate. Let me guess. Back at Goodwill.
Back at my Goodwill, yeah. So if you look at the gentleman in the back, he's carrying like I think it was a basket that they picked up, like a basket that they were going to buy, and it's loaded with. His wife is actually the woman in the white in the middle there who's looking at the lingerie and pajama section. Well, let me tell you, he didn't like to thrift, but boy, was she the boss. She was the one that wore the pants in that marriage. She kept piling stuff on, and by the end of their shopping trip, like there weren't any carts. There's never any carts in the Goodwill. So she just had him carry everything, and she was just piling stuff on. So he had that basket full, and by the time that they were done, like it was up to his shoulders. And he was like, "Can I sit down for a minute?" And she was like, "No." She was like, "You need to stand there and wait for me." Like she was yelling at the poor guy. No. She wouldn't let him sit down. He was like, "Well, can we get going soon? You know, I'm getting a little tired." She's like, "No, we'll go when I say we're gonna go." Like it was really, and he was just kind of, I felt bad for the guy. It was so yeah, this poor guy was very much a a poor husband of hers. I don't know, but it was quite a situation. So.
All right, and mine's all here in my hand, and I meant to get a picture ready, so I'm just going to show you. A good friend of Stacy and I, his name is David Reed Watson. He's the lead singer of a hard rock band called Kill Ritual, and they're not big here in the United States, but they just got back from a 2-month European tour, and Stacy and I were at their house because someone abandoned a little tiny pug on their front doorstep about 2 months ago, and that's Eyeballs Watson right there. That's his name. He is freaking adorable. He is about 1/3 of the size of my doggy. There he is, sound asleep in his bed. Aww. But
that's so cute.
We went over there to have the dogs play, and you know, the adults hung out. The kids played, and the adults hung out. And the next day I went thrifting, and like I said, they're not big here in the United States. So here's their poster. That's him right there. Whoop, right there. I got my Kill Ritual bracelet on. Whoop. But the next day at Savers, I find a Kill Ritual t-shirt. I mean, what?
Oh, wow.
How does that happen? That just makes no sense.
That's crazy. And they're not like a real big band or anything. That's crazy.
And I will tell you, here's a little side note about that. I have run across other t-shirts of my friends' stuff. So I have friends that host parties and tour, not music-wise, but like slideshow presentations. And a couple times I didn't buy the shirts. And then I told them, I said, "Hey, I saw your shirt in the thrift store." And they're like, "Oh, I don't have that one. I got rid of them all. I wish you would have bought it." So if your friends ever do anything where they make shirts and you see it in the thrift store, pick it up. All righty.
Very cool.
Now it's time for our thrifty tip of the week, brought to you by Stamps.com. Stamps.com's online postage service enables small businesses like Nadine, myself, and everyone else watching, enterprises and online retailers to print U.S. Postal Service approved postage with just a computer, printer, and internet connection right from their home or office. I still have not shipped your stuff, Nadine, but if you look up here, I'll give you a quick preview. Oh, that's all you get to see. All right, cool.
Great.
Hey, you're up.
Okay, so my tip, now we all know I talk about my Goodwill and what a disaster it is. It is a mess, but I do find a lot of good stuff. But my advice is, if you see something in the thrift store that is kind of, you know, tucked away in a corner or looks like it's a little off limits, but it's out, don't be shy to be a little nosy and dig and pull things out from behind things and under things. So this is a table where they have like pillows and some linens and stuff in there, and then underneath you'll see there's this container labeled Christmas. Well, it wasn't very noticeable, but I pulled that whole thing out, and in it was all kinds of yarn and all kinds of goodies. Yeah, so it's something that wasn't really, noticeable. People were just walking by, and if I hadn't looked under and been a little nosy and a little nervy and pulled it out and dug through it, I would have never found some good yarn. So
there you go. All right, so this is, I don't know if I've said this tip in a long, long time, but back in the early days of me selling online, I only sold one thing, media, and mainly CDs, but I would do records, cassettes, DVDs, and VHS, because back in 2000, VHS was still a thing. So Stacy would get bored, and when we go hit record stores, then one day I had an epiphany. I'm like, if I make her a list and alphabetize it and then break it down by section and go, here, hon, here's 100 easy to find out-of-print CDs that are typically in record stores, she was often running on a treasure hunt. And so if she found one like $100 CD for $8, like every 3 stores, that kind of kept her going. And that way I could work the rest of the store. So if you don't have spouses that like to do this or want to do this, if you can show them hardcore money return and give them like a treasure map, sometimes that works. So this was just this past week, and we were driving by a thrift store, and I was not going to stop. And she goes, I can't believe we didn't stop. I go, well, we weren't out thrifting today. And she goes, hey, I watched Joy's jean webinar. I want to go find some jeans. So I didn't tell her to watch the webinar. She did. She got excited about jeans, and so we went hunting for jeans. But no matter, though, that she found good stuff, this is always her end result. So she did find good stuff. I found good stuff. We found good stuff together. But this is the look I get when I know it's time to go. It is time to go. But if you can get your spouse involved, who isn't normally involved, and get them to see the dollar return, it can help. All right. You have got to be shipping me. Brought to you by Bubble Fast, where Nay and I teach you what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. Bubble Fast, a family-owned business providing quality shipping supplies to the online community since 1999. Bubble Fast, the internet's home for shipping supplies. And if you see that code right there, J and Nay, you will receive 10% off your entire order. So definitely use it when you need stuff.
Okay, so my tip is I had ordered a cosmetic product that comes in a box. And it's something that I always order online. I use it regularly because of the fact that it's cheaper, if I order it from eBay. So I liked how the seller shipped it. They put it in a priority flat rate envelope. Now the bottle is plastic. It's not really something that could break. It could leak, but it was, but the box could get crushed. So what they did was they just put 2 rigid pieces of cardboard inside of the padded flat rate envelope. They just lined it with those 2 pieces. So it gave it a little more rigidity and, a little extra something there, and it worked out well. It came out, the box wasn't dead, everything was fine. So I like that idea when, if you cut, just to reinforce the padded flat rate a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I use a lot of scrap cardboard. I use some today, matter of fact.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So mine's right here. If you saw my earlier preview, you know exactly what I'm about to show you.
Did you do your shipping tip?
I'm about to give it. Relax.
Oh, I see the eBay tip screen. I'm sorry.
I'm about to give it.
Okay.
So, as you can see, this tiki mug don't look so well. Looks a little broke, a little sick. Here's what happened. I had someone sending me a bunch of tiki mugs. They did wrap them in bubble, but not enough. And here's the problem. Here's how most stuff gets damaged in shipment. If it can move in the box is when it gets broke. The box that it was shipped in was about 8 or 9 inches tall, but there was only about 7 inches of packing material. So there was a full 2 inches that was not full in that box. You should have to be pushing it down a little bit to lock it into place. If it can move, it can break. So this one broke fully, and 2 others, I can feel they're broke, but the glaze is holding them together. So they're fine for display pieces, but I can never sell them and ship them again because it would be just dunzo. Make sure your box is fully full of whatever packing material you're using. It has to be full and not to the top. You got to go a little above the top and then lock it down. Lock it down, Nay.
Good
All
tip.
right. Now it's time for our eBay tip of the week. eBay tip of the week is brought to you by FreeUp. Free Up with 3 E's is the hands-on solution to hire remote e-commerce workers. Free Up vets hundreds of workers a week so you get access to the top 1% of online talent whenever you need them. Sign up is free, no monthly fees, no minimum hours. Get the workers you need when you need them and only pay for the hours they work. Brenda, hey, Brenda. A loyal viewer of the show heard Nate when he was on is now on her way to building a remote empire with her team of free up workers. Go to freeup.com with 3 E's to start to free up your time and scale your business. So my eBay tip is, and this just sold, I bought this on Thrift Hunters when we were filming, and there was no real, I got it home and I go, why'd I buy this? There was no real reason. It was a cute letter opener, but that was about it. But I finally listed it just like recently. And the tip is the first picture I led with wasn't the long picture of a letter opener. It was just a close-up of the artwork on the handle. And it wasn't listed all that long either. So I only paid it was on a junk table for $1. So I made profit. I should have listed a long time ago, but you do not need to show the entire product in your first picture. Mm-hmm. You should show what catches the person's eye. Nadine, hello.
Sorry, I was on mute because my children are being quite loud outside the door, so I apologize for that. So this is great, and I didn't even realize on the eBay app. I was just going through the eBay app one day, and I realized that there's this whole little section there called Trending on eBay, and if you, it's on the home tab, and if you click on that where it says trending, you see a list, but it expands and you can see everything that's trending and is very popular for the day or the week on eBay. So if you go to the other pictures, Jason, so you can see like the Kendra Scott line, and then there's whatever that anti-social club thing is, and there was quite a few lists. There was Patagonia, there's Paddington, and my dog's name is Paddington, so I like Paddington.
So I'm guessing Paddington was trending because the guy died.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Death
I didn't
always
realize that.
puts you up there, for sure.
See, doesn't that's a bonus tip there. Pokemon cards and Patagonia. So that was all, and they give you like the top 10 trending. So if you want to see what's popular and what's selling very well, you can always go to that list, and it kind of gives you an idea as both a buyer and a seller what's hot. So
cool. All right, now it's time for Danger, get out, thrift outside your comfort zone. As you can see, I'm holding some fabric, wearing a dress in the kids section. Nay's got a sporting shirt, some CDs, and a ball cap in the men's section. So the only way to get better as a seller and to make more money is once you've conquered what you know, thrift outside your comfort zone. You are up, Nadine.
Okay, so this is way outside of my comfort zone. I just listed it today, actually. I had purchased it like right before my surgery, so it's been sitting around a little bit, but I just finally got to list it today, and it is a brand new old stock Sony Walkman. Now, it's not the one with the CD in it, but looking this up, it still sells for a pretty steady $40 to $50. So I put it up for $59.99 with best offer, and again, it is sealed, brand new, in the package, never been opened. So there you go. That's and that's way outside my comfort zone. I usually do not buy and sell electronics like that. So. And
what'd you pay, Nay?
I paid $4.99 for it. So. All
right, I am actually going to change mine on the fly.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing right now, because what I just sold when the show started is way more outside my comfort zone than what I was about to share. So let's get rid of that. And the correct price isn't showing. It only sold for $15, but here is a child's sweatshirt. So far outside my comfort zone, it's beyond. But I only paid $1.99. Like I said, ignore the 32. It sold for $15. I had it on sale, but it sold. And I only saw it because it had the Ferrari on it, but it is a little kid's sweatshirt. But hey, I would not normally be in the kids section. I was just casually glancing because Nate keeps pushing me in there, and I made some money. So Get outside your comfort zone, make some more money, because once you learn it, then you're like, oh, I got that in my brain, and on and on and on.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you for venturing into the kids
Yay!
section. Okay.
And last but not least, it's time for J&A's Mini Thrift Hauls. Thank you. Tip your waitress. Okay, so what we do is we're just going to tease our thrift haul, but, oh, wait a minute. Oh. I've got the graphic. I'm sorry I butchered your graphics a little bit.
Oh, no, again.
we actually have the haul scheduled. So it'll be July 8th, which is in 2 nights, at 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. So here is my mini haul. So I'm going to tease you what we're going to talk about. First thing is, this is going to be a 2-parter tease. There's something the brand is what I'm going to talk about, but I didn't find it in the right place. I found it in the wrong place. So that's what we're going to talk about, finding stuff in the wrong place. And some of you will probably know this. This is a very good brand of purses to buy. And we will talk, look at the sparkles. We will talk about it on Saturday night.
Awesome. So I have this DVD, and there's a very specific reason why I bought it. And I'll talk about that. And the other thing is this coffee mug, and it does come in a box, but if I showed you the whole box, you'd probably give it away. So I don't usually buy a lot of mugs, but there's something very interesting about this mug. It's very deceiving. It's not what it looks like. So I will be doing a little demonstration possibly on the thrift haul to show you guys what this mug is all about.
Ooh, a live demonstration.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, cool. A little housekeeping, then we'll get fed right in here. If you have not picked up your Thrifting Board t-shirt, I'll put myself on the big screen here. Get Nate's awesome shirt, especially if you're coming to Vegas for eBay Open. Please get it anyway. I'm going to be announcing a contest with a $50 gift certificate to Bubble Fast coming up for those not coming to Vegas. Here is, there is a link right down below if you're watching the show in the description. But if you want to start typing right now, don't leave the show, but open a new window and type that http://tiny.cc/TTB17. Get your t-shirt. Now, if you are coming to eBay Open, this was the gang last year. And there was a few people missing from this picture. Nay's on the far left. I'm the sexy guy in front. And we had about 50 of us in these red shirts, and every single eBay employee wanted to talk to all of us. Who are you guys? Why are you wearing matching shirts? And the goal of coming to eBay Open is to have access to eBay employees, which you will anyway, no matter what clothes you wear. But when you make a statement like 50 people in the same shirt, they want to talk to you. They will search you out. And right now, I think we're going to have at least 60 or 70 right now. So if you're coming, get your t-shirt. If you got, it's on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, it's a free shipping. 2 versions, one with the front and back. But get your shirt. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to let everyone know at eBay Open who the best kick-ass Facebook group is in all of thrifting and eBay, because we're it. And it's all because you guys make it that awesome. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of eBay Open, Nay, we got 1 seat left for the thrift class on steroids.
Wow.
So if you have been on the fence, we are down to 1 seat. We're in 3 weeks. Las Vegas thrift class on steroids is going to be happening. It's going to be the most ambitious class I've ever thrown. 5 instructors, Nay and I are 2 of them, are going to be giving you some classroom time about 2 of our specific niches that we work in. And one thing that we had to learn, like kids' clothes or bras or whatever. And then we're going to take a little potty break, go over to the bins. We're going to teach you all about the bins. And then we're going to unleash you in the regular thrift store. And then we're going to be joined by 5 other, which I'm calling tour guides or instructors. So there's going to be 10 of us working the store with you guys, wherever section you want to go to, whatever help you need. And we're going to have matching shirts, so it'll be easy to spot us. I mean, easy to spot me anyway, but everyone else. And so it's going to be Nadine and Bridget and Lorna and Teresa and Vicky and Heather, who was on the show with her Disney expertise, and my mommy and Robin and Debbie Weeder. All these people who are experts in fields are going to be there to help. You get 10 instructors for only $150, and there's 1 slot left. And the link is right down here. So if you want to go, get it now. You will never, ever find a better deal for $150.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is just amazing. I'm going to be teaching all about linens and women's clothing. So you get 2 areas of expertise from me. And there'll be so much. It's going to be so jam-packed with great information. So grab your spot.
Yeah, I'm doing media, which I always do, and plush, which would probably shock some people. And we're going to talk a lot about plush because I'm good at picking up the weird plush. So
you are.
Yep. And then last but not least, we already have our guests for next week. Nate and I have been ahead of the game 2 weeks in a row. Woo!
Yeah.
This is my friend Michelle Morgan. She owns a thrift store in town, Dinosaur and Roses, does a lot of good for the community, more so than a lot of the big box thrift stores. So we're going to talk about, to her, what it's like to own a thrift store, the stuff that comes in, the stuff you got to go through. But she's a little bit different. She really gives back to the community, really hands-on. So I'm not complaining about big box thrift stores. I'm just saying in this situation, she is way more hands-on and helping the community at large. So I look forward to talking to her about that. And I've known Michelle for quite a while now, so that should be interesting. So if you got questions for a thrift store owner, tune in next week.
Yeah, that should be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it.
Let me get rid of that, and I'll bring up Fed's artwork, and then off and running.
Awesome.
There we go. Hang on uno momento.
Yes, looking forward to talking
there
to
we
Federica.
Go. All right, I think I got it up now. Do I have it up? Yay, I do.
Yes,
right.
Yay, there it is.
Let's turn Fed back on.
Okay.
Hey, who's here? It's Federica. How are you, Fed?
I'm great. Loving my graphic.
Oh, thank you.
How you like that?
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
I said, hey, make it eBay colors.
Yeah. Thank you.
So let's jump right into it. Fed, why don't you give us your 60-second bio of like, who are you, where do you live, married, not married, kids, dogs, cats, hamsters, what you got?
Great, love it. So you all can call me Fed. You don't have to say the whole long, complicated name. I, as Jason said, have been with eBay almost 6 years and always out of our Washington, D.C. office. So that's where I live with my husband, Jason, and my dog, Leo, who is a very tiny Maltese Yorkie mix, who has his own Instagram channel for those who like to follow dogs. And I worked in government relations in the seller advocacy world for almost 4.5 years, and then moved over to the seller communications role most recently, and have been enjoying, expanding, telling more seller stories, and kind of getting that message out there.
That's awesome. And, I would say to the chat, how many of you knew we had, like I worked there, how many knew eBay had offices in Washington, D.C.? What shocks even eBay employees, Fed, is that there's offices in Portland. Most eBay employees don't know there's offices in Portland. So I tell them about how cool they are. eBay employees go to me, we have offices in Portland?
I can imagine that. It's always kind of the biggest hubs get all the credit, but then the smaller offices don't get as much love. So
yeah, I recently found out that there's actually a hub near me. I think it's in the King of Prussia, Pennsylvania area, and I was not familiar that there was any eBay office anywhere near Philadelphia. So
yep, we're kind of all over. Thanks to technology.
If you've never been to Portland, next time you're in Portland, go see the offices. It will blow your mind. They are the coolest. I
have been to Portland, but never to our office.
Oh, it's unlike, I was shocked. I'm like, what this? Because if you've never been to Portland, you understand it more because it is so artistic in the offices. Every meeting room, there's neon. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely awesome. So I just happen to have friends throughout the whole eBay company. And so when I see them, like Fed, we hang out. And so I'm going to start. We're going to back up to where you started, Fed, and we'll get up to where we're at because we're going to talk about eBay Open and the Shine Awards. But you reached out to me in 2012 and said, "Hey, Jay, you want to go to DC?" And I said, "Heck yeah! What are we doing?"
Yeah, that's what I misheard about your arm situation because I was in a crowded airport, as I recall. But anyways, Jason and I got to talking. We needed a seller from Nevada and to come to Washington. And what our government relations team does kind of all over the world, but definitely the DC event is a staple one, is bring sellers to Washington, to Brussels, to different parliaments around the world, and obviously to congressional members to voice their opinion on issues that matter. And by virtue of being a marketplace, a lot of the issues that affect us actually directly affect our sellers. So we deal with, I'm sure with you guys have heard, internet sales tax is one of the biggest issues we deal with, but also trade and making sure you guys are able to easily sell your goods to countries like Canada and South America and really all over the world. We deal with postal rates, like your ability to continue to ship on Saturdays, and make sure your rates stay low, and that we negotiate with the USPS good rates for you guys. So anyways, these are all issues that, of course, we fight for because we want our company to be successful. But by virtue of being a marketplace and the fact that we're only successful when our sellers succeed, a lot of the issues trickle down to sellers, which is why we want to connect sellers directly to their elected officials, because they're able to tell that story better than if eBay is going in there telling it as a third party.
So here's a picture of the first, they called it at the time, I don't think they call it the fly-in anymore, do they?
Well, we kind of do. We go back between Advocacy Day and fly-in because we felt that fly-in was a very insider Washington term, and Advocacy Day lends itself to understanding what we're actually doing to external people.
So what they do is they bring you in, and this was a year they brought in, I think, one from every state, and so then we have a night before party. And this year, 2012, is the year that Devin got hired, and Devin's like first day on the job was meeting me 2 seconds outside of a senator's office and then going in to talk to the senator. So he had just been hired. He's like, hey, this is Jason. Okay, go talk. Bye. So that's how Devin and I met, and we've been friends since then. And Devin bought his first Hawaiian shirt from me because he didn't have one. So, but in case you can't find me, that is me with the bald head, no glasses yet, but the big bushy beard in the back.
Federica, how many people work in the DC office?
So it's only about 10 people that work in our DC office, and preliminarily most everyone is government relations, aside from I think 2 or 3 people that don't work in that group.
Very cool.
So that's a small group.
Yeah, that's
really advocating for all of us on a daily basis. And it's a small group of people you guys will never know. Well, you know Fed tonight now, but it's the unsung heroes of the eBay team. Not that everyone that works there isn't a hero to us, but you guys have tirelessly worked on making sure that we can cross-border trade, and we can get decent shipping rates, and we can ship on Saturday, and don't tax the hell out of us, that kind of thing. So I salute you, and my hat's off to you. I know we're going to talk about where you moved on to, but you did it, and so I thank you, Fed.
Thank you, guys.
And then this is me actually at work, Nadine, on the Hill, meeting Senator Dean Heller.
Look at you in the fancy suit. Oh my!
But I stayed Jason. I wore a long sleeve Hawaiian shirt and no tie.
I see that.
I did not have glasses yet, and I was still very fat. So there's that one. And then Fed asked me to come back in 2013, but I was doing a little thing called Thrift Hunters, and I couldn't make it. So she had me come back in 2014. And this was, again, the problem being tall, you're always stuck in the back row. So there I am in the back row right there. And I don't need to show you my whole outfit for that trip, but there was my socks for my day on the Hill. Oh, I actually won an award. Shit, that's downstairs. Yeah, we did a tweet contest, and I was doing all kinds of fun. Everyone else was doing serious tweets. I know this will be a shock to you, Nadine, but I was doing fun tweets. And I got an award for all the fun tweets I did around DC. So how long did you work at the DC team?
About 4.5 years I was with the team. And then I switched over to seller communications when that role became available.
And why did you switch over?
It was just a new role that became available, and it was kind of, so what I did in government relations was really communicate, but mostly on the policy issues, and then this is just broader, communicating about our sellers in a more broad sense. So I like the fact that it expanded to more issues and getting closer to what the business is doing and what's coming down for sellers, in addition to policy, but also more on the eBay business side.
That's very cool. And it's great that you have that opportunity to move around in the company like that. That makes it, that's exciting.
It says a lot about the company too as a whole, because a lot of my friends that work for eBay have been there for years. They don't. Some have moved on, But you know, it says a lot when I see friends. I mean, Griff's the ultimate example. Griff's been there since the number 6 employee. But you know, you decided that's a great company. I'm just going to switch roles over to something new and keep it fresh.
Yeah, it's, a lot of people like to stay. I do. I mean, I'm sure, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm just making these things up, but I think a big reason is like really the sellers and people. A lot of the people that are close to sellers in their roles or what sellers are experiencing, I think, tend to stay a really long time because they really know, okay, we are making a difference and we need to be here in order for people to have a livelihood. And I think that's especially rung true for me, obviously, talking to people about how they've built their eBay business and just being in awe and inspired by all the hard work that people do and your ability to just go out and make money, honestly. So
yeah, I'm going to show a video here real quick, Nay, but I want to say something else. Not that I need to kiss Fed's ass because she knows I love her. But, you know, when people get mad at eBay or any platform that they work on, and, you know, things happen in all our lives, work, pleasure, neighbors, you know, whatever. Things happen that don't go the way you want them to go. But you got to remember all the people who are working for us. There are, you know, some, you know, other groups, not the Thrifting Board, other groups just love to piss and moan all day long about how everyone's a jerk and an asshole. And that just ain't the case. And Fed's a prime example. And I have tons of other friends who work for the company that they work hard all day long in hopes of that we're all successful. And I got to talk to the eBay interns once. And I told them, I said, look, if you go leave ebay.com and say, go work for target.com, if someone buys a mop, they're just buying a mop and they're going to show up at their house, they're going to mop the floor. Someone buys something on eBay, it might be a life-changing item. It might fill a void that they needed to fill. Like we had a member of our group bury his wife in a shirt he bought off of eBay because it was her favorite place. And so I said, if you do want to work for this company, and I hope you do, it is a great place because a lot of times the transactions that you're putting together behind the scenes for us to have in front of the scenes means something amazing to some people. A mop's a mop, big deal. So, that's, you know, that's what's so great about all the eBay employees and the ones that stay around. Now, let me show you a quick fun video, and then we're going to move on to what Fed's doing now. In the Capitol, there's a fun little personal subway, and I got to ride it twice. And typically you don't get to ride it, but we were running late and we got to ride it. So I'll commentate. You can't hear anything, but we were running late, and they're like, all right, they're going to allow us to hop on here, and you get to go in this little cool, almost Disney-esque little people mover thing. Yeah. And it just moves from one side to the other, so we don't have to run in our suits and get all sweaty and stinky. And it was, you know, it was an honor and a privilege to be on the Hill and to do this for eBay and for all the sellers. But some parts of it, I'm like a little kid. I'm like, yay, I'm in the monorail. Woo!
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that existed.
It was quite fun, and I'm glad I found this video today. I'm like, all right, sweet. This was a lot of fun, and as you can see, it moves a pretty good distance. That's why we didn't run. We just hopped on and cruised to the other side. So funny enough, I teased this today, Nay, and 2 of the members in our group have been on that. So
really?
Like, wow, that is cool.
Wow, that's very cool. So Fed, can you tell us a little bit about your new role and what you're doing exactly?
Yeah, so I'm in the communications team now, and in my role is seller communications, which sounds kind of broad, but primarily my job is to create content and tell stories of our sellers that help, you know, showcase to corporate audiences like the media and investors and policy stakeholders and prospective talent and prospective sellers what we enable and what we do for our sellers and how we create economic opportunity through our marketplace. So that's very broad, but it goes anything from going out and doing seller photo shoots and doing blogs, telling our seller stories, collaborating a lot with the seller marketing team who runs the eBay for Business channels, which I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with, and pushing that content also to current sellers as it does relate to them from time to time. So that's what I do in a nutshell.
So if you've not been to the eBay for Business Facebook page, everyone listening to my voice, please go there. And if you have a problem, it's a good place to start because they will help you. But here's how you get a problem taken care of. You come with the facts and you come with no emotion. Just tell the problem. Mm-hmm. When you start getting emotional is when things don't go right. But let me tell you, do me a favor, do Nay a favor. And when you go over to the eBay for Business page, That's where people who like to complain and moan and groan camp out and just piss and moan all day. So do me a favor and find an article that they have shared or a picture or something and leave a nice comment. You know, I think we forget to do those things sometimes. And the people who like to leave pissy comments, they never forget.
Yes, that's
so do me a
true.
favor and fill up the post because you'll find something that'll relate to you, and fill up the post with nice comments. Fed and Audrey and all the team and Heidi, they're working hard to help us, and they don't get enough love or enough pats on the back. And so that's why I like to have them on the show and tell them how much we love them. So we love you, Fed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I will just say to you guys that we so appreciate you doing business with us, and that we know we're not perfect. I've been here almost 6 years. I know we're not perfect. And we have a lot of things to fix, but we also do some things right, I hope. And, again, I like what Jason said. Just come to us with what the problems are. A lot of times we don't know. We want to know so we can fix it, but we do have to take that emotion out of it so that we can actually address, okay, what is the issue? What's the solution here? So we're here for you to help you. So don't ever feel like we're against you or working, against you. It really, if you're not successful as sellers, it's just bottom line, we are not successful. That's how our marketplace works. So believe in that mantra.
I do, and it's great that you said that, because I know that there are people like Jason said on some not on the thrifting board, but in some groups there are some people that just think, oh, eBay hates the sellers. They don't like small sellers. That you hear all this stuff, and it's so untrue because, and I realized last year at Open, especially, and I'm so looking forward to attending again this year. eBay loves its sellers. That's the whole point of, there's just so much that they do for us sellers. And I think, on other unmentionable online platforms, that's not the case, where sellers are not, they're just kind of another number, so I do appreciate that. And I do feel appreciated as a seller, so.
I loved what you showed about the trending inventory, and that's like a big thing. If you don't see your stuff selling, that means buyers aren't looking for it. Or, I'm sure some may have to do with the listing, and in which case I'm sure Jason and Nate can help you. But some of it may just be like sellers aren't looking for that, and like we want to bring you that inventory guidance, and we're working hard to do that so that you can see what's selling. So when you're out and looking for inventory, you're looking for that stuff and have that in the background.
And I love that. I thought that was great. That's why I shared it. But it does and as it helps buyers too to know what's popular, what's trending. So from both perspectives, it's a great thing. So I love that you're doing things like that for us.
And people get mad at me, death always sells, and the reason Paddington is trending is because the guy who created him passed away, and he was old. He was like 92 or 3, so he had a great life. But I'm sure if we would have looked at it the week Chris Cornell died, he had hit Soundgarden stuff would have been trending.
Probably.
And it'll happen. So, and I know we're gonna get so much shit. Oh, you're just kissing eBay's ass. Blah, blah, blah. I'm all right. Look, the 3 trolls that gave me a thumbs down already. I don't care. I care about the 172.
But it is. Yeah, and it's true. I've had some issues with certain things. That I've had some hurdles as the seller. I'm still experiencing one right now. But last year at Open, I was able to talk to some of the employees about it. They did try to help me and offer some solutions. And I feel confident that this year I can talk about some of my issues too. And I know that I will actually be heard. That it's not going to be just, oh, well, tough, people, they actually take what sellers say and into consideration, and they care. So that's great.
And one last thing I will add is that sometimes it's hard for us to know who in the company could help you figure out that issue specifically. So allow us the time to research that, because sometimes you wouldn't have any idea that I, reach out to a person who connects me to another person who connects me to another, and then 15 people later, I'm still not at the right person, but I'm trying. So to you, it may seem like I'm ignoring your issue, but the reality is I'm just trying to track down who from our thousands of employees can actually help you get something accomplished.
That's great.
There's an awesome post in the chat from Resale Junkie. Since I took Jason's class in Atlanta, I've been able to buy 2 Jeep Unlimiteds, one 2017 and the other for the wife. of 2014. Thanks, Jason. A, you're welcome.
Wow.
And B, good man for you keeping the new one and giving the wife the used one. Good job. Good job. All right, so tell us about the Shine Awards.
All right.
So that's what we want to talk about. So tell us, because people might not know.
Yeah.
So start like you don't know.
Well, I hope you all know, but if you don't know, we started a U.S. seller recognition program last year called the eBay Shine Awards. If you go to ebay.com/Shine Awards, you can read all about it. But basically, what it is, you know, a chance for us to celebrate our sellers, to recognize the, you know, the brightest stars among all of them. And this year we received 2,500 applications from across the country. And I'm telling you, there were some amazing stories. We locked ourselves in a room all day, narrowing it down to the 15 finalists, which you can see on the website and vote for your favorites on. And it was hard. I didn't want to let some people go at the end of the day, but we have to get down to 15. And so our committee had to end up choosing. But next year, we're going to do it again. I encourage you to apply. It's not about how big your eBay business is. It's not necessarily about that. There are certain categories that we set up, but that doesn't mean that not everyone has a chance to win. We also rotate those yearly. So we really want to represent the full spectrum of seller, from someone who just casually started and all the way to our $1 million businesses. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, one of your group members is one of our finalists this year. And she has an amazing story and has been absolutely doing fabulous on eBay. And everyone was so impressed with her listings, her store, her story. And we're just excited to have her as a finalist.
Yes, so are we. Yes, it's our member Katie, and she's awesome. She's a lifeguard in our group and a personal friend, and I'm just so happy for her. Yeah, she really deserves the opportunity.
So Fed, when if you're coming, those of you coming to eBay Open, when is the actual award ceremony to find out who wins the awards?
So first off, one thing about eBay Open, if you apply and you end up making it, you're going to get a really VIP Beyonce treatment. So have Katie tell you all about it in one of the shows after Open. But she's going to get the full VIP treatment. So that's something you get if you apply and you end up becoming a finalist. Thursday of eBay Open around 4:00 p.m. Pacific time is when we're going to do the awards. If you're coming, I'm sure you'll be there cheering for Katie in all of your shirts. But if you're not coming, it'll be streaming live on Facebook, on eBay for Business, as well as our eBay Newsroom channels. So you can watch it there. We'll be announcing all of our category winners. There's 5 categories, so 5 category winners, which are determined by the public. So, go on and vote for folks there, ebay.com/Shine Awards. And then there's one grand prize winner, which is determined by our judges. And the winners get tons of cool stuff in addition to coming to Open and having that VIP experience. They get a cash prize. They get Anchor Store subscription for a year, shipping supplies, promoted listing credits, coaches, blah, 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 photos, videos, you name it, they get it. So it's really a really fun program.
That is cool. Can you tell us if there's anything that you might be able to tell us that's new coming up the pike?
Of eBay specifically?
Got dirt, got dish, what do you got?
Yeah, sorry, I might have worded that a little oddly, but yeah, just anything new coming that you can maybe.
There are definitely things coming, but unfortunately our earnings is very close to today, so I sealed lips.
All right, well, I said we could take some questions. So if you guys got any questions, throw them up there for Fed. But if you're coming to eBay Open and you've never met her, please stop up and say hi and say, hey, I'm a member from the Thrifting Board. I'm a viewer of Thrifty Business with J and A. She loves to meet all the peeps hanging around us because she knows we have put together a lot of good peeps, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yes, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, we'll have eBay Open's going to be an amazing time. If you were there last year, it was great, but this year it's going to be even better. So
that's awesome.
You need a vacation after eBay Open, and not in a bad way. But and plus, if you're hanging around me, I got extra parties scheduled, so it's not a week of relaxation in Vegas. I'll tell you right now.
No, it's not at all for nobody really.
Yeah, it's a lot of go. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of networking. It's a lot of fun. The Thursday night party last year, I was so impressed and blown away. I would tell everyone, I go, the price alone is worth the party. And then you're getting like 3 days of learning and eBay employees. They want. Do you speak Italian, Fed?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so the first question is say something in Italian.
Ciao, buonasera a tutti.
There you go.
Ta-da.
That was an easy question.
Oh boy, now there's a hard one.
No questions right this second. Give them a tease about the new MIP program that they will learn.
MIP program?
I don't know. Jim, what the hell's that? I don't know. Obviously, Fed doesn't either.
Okay, well.
So, how long you been married? We'll do that. Okay, in case anyone else shows up here with a question.
Since September, so almost
wow.
a year now.
Oh, congratulations!
Yep.
Such
Thank
young
you.
love.
Yep.
And how old's your baby?
The dog?
Yep.
Because my husband's my second baby, so I didn't know what you're talking about. But the dog is 4 years old.
Aw.
And he's full of life.
Oh yeah. When we had our first dog, we were living in Long Beach, and a lady, one of our neighbors in this condo complex we lived in, had a baby. And after a while, she goes, "I think it's more work for your dog than my baby."
Well, I have to say, I have 3 children and 2 boxers. And sometimes the boxers are worse than the children. Yeah, so they're more care.
I can imagine.
And with them all together, it's really like having 5 children. So.
All right, I'm not sure if you can answer any of these questions, but I'll throw them out there. So Jersey Jimmy said Amazon went outside their niche and purchased Whole Foods. Is eBay going to make any acquisitions that help them move into new markets? And one of their acquisitions they did a poor job at. Now I'm a big eBay cheerleader, but I will tell them when they did wrong. They really screwed up half.com, and now it's going out of business. And it was a fine brand until eBay bought them. So I hope they research before they buy anything else.
I do not know that information about acquisitions. I'm not that privileged to know that. But if I did know, I would not be able to share. But
yeah, you guys got to ask questions that Fed would be talking about with like seller appreciation.
We don't want to do the job.
Yeah,
your
tomorrow would be.
These questions are like Devin level or Brian Burke level. Like, we're not there, kids. Maybe.
Is this an investor relations call?
Okay, here's a great question. Do you sell on eBay?
I do sell, actually, occasionally. Because when I moved roles, when I worked for the Washington office, I had to dress up a lot. So I had a lot of very expensive women's dresses that I would wear to the office, which totally go unused now because I rarely go to the office because all of our team is in California. And when I do not have to dress up anymore. So I sold all of my, Karen Millen, Calvin Klein, Tahari dresses on eBay recently. One that I was shocked that it didn't sell. I'm going to have to ask you guys for advice. I even have like a mannequin, so I was shocked. But other than that,
shoot us over that listing. We'll take a look at it, see if we can.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
I will.
Yes, I love selling women's clothing.
I also sold all of my wedding decorations on eBay, pretty much. So I made some money back, which my husband was pleased about.
Yeah, that's great.
My mom has a question, but again, Ma, it's not for Fed. That is not her specialty. My mom wants to know what's the penalty for a buyer who doesn't pay. Nothing. Here, I'll answer. Nothing really. But here, this is not really a question, but I like the suggestion. So maybe you can send it to the right department because we talked about, you always find the right department. eBay has to put the best offer option on the StubHub website. I kind of like that idea.
That's not terrible.
Because selling tickets. I was just selling tickets for a concert that I had bought a long time ago, and I was using StubHub. And then my sister-in-law and niece who came to visit, and they're downstairs watching. Hey, Michelle and Rachel. So I put my tickets up for sale. Now I didn't get an offer, and you can go in there and keep putting it down. But if you had a best offer option, and someone would have thrown me an offer kind of even close, I would have taken it. And I kind of like that idea. Like, I can't go to this concert. I'm either going to eat these tickets or get some money. I'll take some over zero.
That's a great suggestion.
I like it.
Let's see. Any other questions that you could answer? No, that's not a question for Fed. Okay, cool. Those are all good. By the way, everyone, those are all great questions. Just wrong employee. We will have other employees like Griff wants to come on very soon. And
cool.
Nate and I will be talking to a lot of people at eBay Open to get more guests. And we want to get a lot. I did it last year and I failed at taking notes on who I talked to. So this year I'm on it. So Fed, I knew I was easy to reach out and talk to her.
There's tons of places to connect with employees this year at Open, so just take full advantage of it.
I'm looking forward to that because I do have not only some issues and concerns that I want to address, but there's just, I want to talk about our show. I want to just get to know some of the employees. I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah. There's going to be tons of people there I'm sure a lot of your questions have to do with products and flows and things like that. So there's going to be tons of people that are like the main product people, but then there's going to be community, sort of more communication. So about your show and your group and things like that. And then there's going to be tons of customer service reps. So for more like,
that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So how many votes have you surpassed the amount of votes total for the Shine Awards from last year already?
Not yet, but we're on track to.
Okay.
So today we hit 16,000 votes total among all the finalists. So we gotta get to, I think, 30. So we're on track to hit that by next Friday.
Awesome.
And do you know how many people are coming to eBay Open? Like what the attendance normally is? I think a couple thousand, right?
I want to say there's like 1,100 or 1,200 sellers, and then there's employees and other vendors and things like that on top of that. So yeah, it will be.
And is that bigger? Is that going to be larger than last year? I don't know.
There's more sellers this year. I think they either came very close or are like sold out. So I can't say for certain, but I know last year it wasn't quite. So there's definitely more sellers.
That's great. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait.
All right, let's add on this tip. If you're driving up and staying at the MGM, the valet is monstrous and takes a good while. So your options are parking elsewhere. There are parking across the street and or self-parking and just schlepping your own stuff. So just be aware, if you valet, be aware you're going to wait a while at the valet stand. And let me tell you, it's outdoors, and because some valets are underground and in air conditioning, this one is not. And so if you're waiting for 20 minutes for your car, you're standing outside and it's going to be hot as hell. So there's your little tip for eBay Open at the MGM Grand. So Fed, I want to thank you for coming on. I love
Thanks for having me.
You keep up the good work. Everything you've done for the company has always been, propelling the sellers forward. And I do appreciate all your hard work, and Nate does, and I'm sure all our viewers do. So thank you very much.
Guys.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on the show and for everything that you do for us.
Thanks. Have a good one, guys.
Don't hang up, Fed. I won't talk to you after we get off the air. So thanks you, everyone. All right, so Mom and I will be on Sunday at some point. I'll give you a time. Nate and I will definitely be on Saturday doing a thrift haul at 9 p.m. East Coast, 6 p.m. West Coast. And then we'll be back next week with my friend Michelle Morgan, who owns a thrift store, who gives right back to the community directly. So bring questions for that. All right. For Thrifty Business with Jay and Nay, I'm Vegas Jay.
And I'm Philly Nay. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.